Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to another edition of the Part of the Pride Aston Villa Women podcast. We are so happy to be back for our second episode, celebrating the history and the incredible women who paved the way for the Aston Villa Women Football Club that we know today. And guest number 2 on this incredible series is the lovely Lorraine Robinson. Lorraine, how you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. And you?
Yeah,
Oh,
very well, thank you. Very, very excited for this evening, and to talk about your incredible career. Because I know we talked a bit off air about all these highlights, so we can't wait to get into it. And of course, I can never do this by myself. We've also got Gary, Lindsay, and Tracy joining this evening. How are you three?
Very well,
All
thank you.
good? Yes,
Oh, good,
good,
thanks,
good
Maria.
indeed. Perfect. Thank you, Tracy. You're too far away now, Tracy. That's the thing. We've got that Cornwall delay going on. Perfect. Right then. Well, let's delve straight into it then. So Lorraine, let's go right the way back to the beginning of your footballing journey. When did you first ever start playing? Was it because you had kind of a football mad family, or how did you start knowing that you love this sport?
Um, so I was the baby of 9. I'm the youngest of 9,
9.
9
Wow.
children, yeah. And obviously it was kind of a small house. Well, I wouldn't say a small house, but with a lot of people in it, felt very small. So at
Yeah.
any time I used to go and play out, there was only boys. So
Mm.
obviously I used to play football or go scrumping, them kind of things. But um, I I really enjoy playing football, so we'd play every Sunday, from probably the age about, I'd say 11, ten,
Brilliant.
11. Yeah, but not
That's
not
brilliant.
I didn't play for any team or nothing, just in the with the local lads.
And I think a lot of footballers have said, they're the years that really kind of shaped them into the footballer they were, playing with the boys and playing maybe on tougher surfaces and that kind of thing,
Yeah.
not on an actual training pitch. So when you finally did find a team then, was that a bit later on, did you say? Your first
Yeah,
team?
that was later
Yeah.
on. So we used to use like books for shin pads. We couldn't afford shin pads them days. I'm not even lying. And a pair of bestish trainers for us was like, once I got them white tennis shoes, not the little black slip-on Dunlops, you couldn't play football in them. So it'd be in the black Dunlop ones with shin pads down our socks, and you're dead right. It was on any piece of gravel, grass you could find. And half the time you'd get kicked because, we all had different abilities, but everybody wanted to win. And I
Yeah.
think what happened in my case was having 4 older brothers as well. I think it just toughened me up. But
Yes.
then I didn't know about football. Like I didn't realize that, there was the likes of your Villa, your Birmingham, and your Aberdeen, I didn't know that because at the age of I had my first child when I was 17. So
Okay.
I didn't get into football. I realized, because I found a piece of, how ironic is this? I've got a piece of paper here. What is 2003? My mum passed
Okay.
away and she must have kept it. And it's a
Oh,
clipping.
that's.
Yeah, so it's given me a few dates, what you're going to be interested.
Oh wow.
Absolutely
Yeah.
gobsmacked I am. Um, yeah, so I think I I thought I played for Blues, but I clearly didn't. The first team which I remember now was Villa Aztecs. We wasn't called Aston Villa, we were called
Yes.
Villa Aztecs. And
Yes.
that was the first team we played for a few years. Then I think I played for Birmingham and Aberdeen, but I've got a bit of record you might. So apparently, it was dated 2003 in the Sunday Mercury, and I've took a
Okay.
bit of clippings out of it. It's right here. I'll tell you what though, my face looks 4 times bigger than it is now. So there it is. Can you see it?
Oh
Oh,
wow,
yeah.
yeah.
Sunday Mercury, yeah. Um, and I took a bit. It said we won the Premiership, beating Garswood Saints 8-1. 3 times with the Villa, but we were relegated in 1995. We won the Northern Premiership back in 1999, but we didn't stay there long. We were relegated again by February. Who put that bit though? Because when I read it, I thought, oh my God, wait to read this bit. We ended that season with 1 point, conceded 81 goals and only scoring 6. So you could see the different level to rise from the Northern Prem or the Southern Prem to actually get into the top,
Mhm.
which was your Donny Bowles, your Arsenal, Liverpool. Was Liverpool in there? Well, them kind of teams anyway. I remember Donny Bowles
Yeah.
um and yeah, Arsenal and a few other teams. So there was a massive gap, clearly, because I don't think anyone now for that rise would be conceding 81 goals and only scoring 6.
Yeah.
I don't think that would ever happen again, but that was
No.
obviously the start of it all, wasn't it?
Mhm.
Must have been the start of it all.
Yeah, because we
So,
were that's really interesting. You're gonna have to send us a picture of that, Lorraine, and that'll be great to see. Because we were talking to Nikki, and she was saying, the team at the time when she was playing were too good for, like, the Midlands division,
yeah,
but then that gap up to the next
yeah,
division, like you said, into the Prem, was just too much at that time for the club and the team to deal with. When were you, was it once a week you were training, if
yeah,
that?
that's
Yeah,
right. I played Nicky was left back them times.
yes,
Yeah, so I actually played in the same squad with Nicky. Yeah,
incredible. What was she like to play with?
she still is. It's so ironic. We're both in the
Incredible.
same England squad now, but she still has that left foot, still has that, I think if you're a like if you have the technical side of football, because
Yeah.
everybody can have the love and passion.
Once you've got that football technical skill, then you don't
Yeah,
lose it.
now you don't. You can only use your confidence and obviously your fitness levels. But if you maintain that, you can still be like. Yeah, like Nikki said, we thought we were, and then he said something different then, but we thought we were very good then. We thought we was an outstanding team, and it was right. There's a prime example, 8-1. You don't get that really 8-1 scores. So when we made it to the big boys, that's what we called it. Oh my
Okay.
God, did we learn our lesson? Did we
But
learn our lesson?
but it shows you, doesn't it, where you it's like, "Okay, well, we need to be up there, so let's
Yeah.
go and let's keep going." Because I know you mentioned, that you started as a forward and then ended up in defence. Have you got a preference what you preferred, or did you like elements of both positions?
I love both of them. I enjoy being centre forward, scoring goals, getting that like buzz that when you turn around, everybody's kind of running to you, and that
Yeah.
like yeah, but it's a whole team goal, but like that personal buzz, I have to say, is nice. But then I enjoy defence as well, thinking yeah, you think you've got through, and then you put that last gap leg out and just make that
Yeah.
challenge. I enjoyed that then, but now I'm back, like 63 years old, playing back to centre forward again. So it's just crazy. It's crazy, but
Love it.
it's just the love of the game. The love of
It
the
is, and
game.
you I was gonna say, you tell talking to you like that passion, it's infectious, it really is, and,
Oh,
talking about your career, Gary, to take over, let's talk about it.
Hiya, how
hi
are you?
Gary.
But thanks for joining us tonight. So,
Okay.
what sort of age were you whenever you were at Birmingham, and how did you find the setup? Was it what you expected it to be from being at Aztecs to then moving on to another club?
Okay. So I'm a out and out blue nose. Always have been.
Get her
So
off.
to play for the
We're only
I
joking.
know, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Actually, Villa's turned my head. So to play for the Villa, it was, and then Birmingham kind of like showed interest. I kind of was driven to them, but how can I put this without seeing it? I enjoyed it very much. I enjoyed the football part of it, but there was racism in there, which I didn't realize was racism until my own teammate, like, why are you letting her talk to you like that? Obviously, we were both centre forwards. And why are you letting her talk to you like that? And why are you letting her call you that name? And I think I only stayed there 2 years, and then and that's when I moved on to a different team. But yeah, Birmingham City, I, I I loved it there. I enjoyed it. Like I said, I'd done coaching. I remember Karen Carney with I knew from the first coaching session, I knew she was about a little scrawny little girl, long black hair, but she was strong. She was dead kicker. She was get up and rough her hair and wipe her nose, and she was gone again. I just knew. I knew she would make it to the top. So I enjoyed playing for Blues and doing a bit of coaching with the Blues. I enjoyed that. Like I said, it was good. And to watch her now, I think I seen her at Wembley when we went to Wembley and we didn't get promoted. We didn't win the cup, but promotion was better anyway. But I saw her there and I managed to call her over and I go, "You're right, Karen. Yeah. Robbo, you used to kick the hell out of me, but I'm with my grandchild." And I'm like, "Oh my God," as if I wanted to. And I was like, "No, I didn't." You know? Yeah, it's like, and my granddaughter, like, she's into football. She's 13, one of them. So she's looked at me and I'm like, "No, I didn't." And then she went, "Yes, you did, Robbo." I was like, "Oh." But yeah, some absolutely fantastic memories. All the clubs I've played, it's just been brilliant.
When you were with Villa, what was the structure like? You know, were the men's side, were Villa themselves involved? Did they give you as much support, or
So, wow.
Yeah, you
When
tell
we
us.
was
Come
at
on.
the Villa, you might as well say we were non-existent. At the beginning, I don't mean it no way. I just mean the men had everything.
Yeah.
It was, to me, like, I'm an older person, so to me, like, our place wasn't really on the pitch, which we totally didn't agree with. But I'm not saying they. I'm not saying that there was vicious or vindictive, or it just went straight over the red to me.
It
We
just
were
weren't a
just,
thought. Yeah.
yeah, we wasn't
Yeah.
in there any kind of their thoughts. And then they slowly realised, why should we be Villa Aztecs? You know, why are not we Aston Villa? We wear your kit, we represent, we bring, and then obviously we became Aston Villa. I think Doug had a big thing to do with that. I remember him coming into the changing room. That's a big thing. That was, we was at Cole Lane. I remember him coming in there and wishing us luck. And but we only ever got to play in all of my career with the Villa. We only ever got to play that one time against Bayern Munich 20 years after Peter Whiff scored that European goal. So they they brought their girls over to play us, and we thought we were brilliant. We scored the first goal. Oh my God, that was embarrassing. And they scored the next 12 and we lost 12-1. It was embarrassing. They were just like, oh my God, they were miles ahead of us, but they're not that now. Not at all.
well, that moves quite well into the
No.
We
next
are
question,
class.
actually, because obviously a lot of villains know about Doug Ellis and his role as the club chairman. With you actually meeting him before the FA Cup game and stuff like that, what stories you remember about him? What kind of man was he? What do you remember about Doug Ellis?
I remember Doug Ellis being a big, massive figure of Aston Villa. And when I say the utmost respect, the way I see football, I'm not going to offend the king or the queen. I don't mean to offend none of them. The queen when she was here, the king now. But that's how Doug's aroma and everything around it was when he was at the Villa. But off the record, he was such a nice man. He was so down to earth, and you know, like I could talk, just not like, oh, hello, Mr. Ellis, how are you? Like, oh, what do you think of the game then, Doug? Do you not think that was? And it'd be on a great level like that. So I didn't think nothing of it by saying thanks, Doug, when he come in the changing rooms, to where he called me out all official and made me know I am a boss. I'm the chairman of you, all of this, what's going on. And fair play, I rate him and just said, you do not call me Doug. You call me Mr. Ellis when we are in public and in play. Fair play, Doug. Fair play. Yeah, yeah. So such a nice man.
You mentioned your highlights of playing against Bayern Munich and Villa Park. How was that whole experience? Was it in a tournament or how was the competitiveness?
So so here's another story then. So now my son he would have been 2003. Right there, 'cause, I think he was about 10, 11. And they invited everybody, so obviously 95 of my family went to that game. They invited, you could invite, yeah, we're a big family, cousins, nephews, dad, mum, the whole lot. 95, but we had this big pre-warning. Whatever you do, you wasn't allowed on the ground seats. You had to sit on the kind of the next level up. Um, so they left the ground seats. So it wasn't a high jump, but it was whatever you do not run on the pitch. Tell your family not to run on the pitch. Blah 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 blah. My son jumped over the barrier, ran on the pitch at the end, celebrated with his mum. I got called in afterwards. I'll never forget it. I got called in afterwards. Do you know who that was? I said, yes, I do. That's my cousin's child. And when I tell his mum, because I thought I am not getting into trouble for that. I said, and when I tell his mum, she's going to go bar me. Yeah, well, you make sure you tell her. I said, I will.
That's a long day at the office, that. And
Yeah, oh, mate.
your own experiences and the tournaments and so on that you played in.
So we only ever played Bayern Munich.
Like
What
a
do you call it?
celebration match kind of thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's only once we played there. Yeah, we played in tournaments, but not against foreign teams, not like we do with England. No, I never went abroad with Villa. It wasn't that big when I finally, would I say walk away, because I didn't want to be that. I didn't want to go to the second team. I'm going to be honest, and I didn't
Yeah, no, that's
realise how
fair.
long I'd played for him. Obviously, he favoured a different player. I remember going to Tom Stack's office, 9 Cole Lane, breaking my heart and saying, why has he just come and took me out? And he's like, look, Robbo, you can go to the second team, but I can't interfere, Robbo. But you know me. I said, Tom, you know I can play. And he went, I can't. And then that's when I said, I'm going to walk away. I went to Lee Field. Somebody came in and said, could you come and be player coach? And that's when I went and they tried to get out of the league, and I went as player coach, and we won the league undefeated, got promoted.
Wow.
And then I think I hung up my boots at 48 years old was the last time I played first team,
Wow.
11v11. And then at 55 years old, me and my wife was in Jamaica on holiday, and I get a phone call saying our England trials, think the sky turned blue with all the answers. Like, you think I'm stupid, you do. No, seriously, England's got trials. I'm like, nah. And they're like, nah, it's walking football. Nah, you're definitely joking, I said. But anyway, that's when I came back for the trials. Stuart Langworth, who's the overall kind of manager of the England WFA, pulled me aside and said, I'd like you to be captain. And that's when
Wow.
I could have cried my eyes up. And I actually said that to him. I said, but the girls will take the mick and I've got to get the minibus with them. We went to Spain in Torrevieja,
Yeah.
Torrevieja, yeah. So we went for 2 weeks because the 40s was playing 1 week and the 50s the next, which my wife plays for the 40s. I play for the 50s. And then I coached the 40s, and they won that undefeated. And the 50s, we was just so unlucky, mate. But it was horrible because we won it all, but we drawed in the final, which went to straight to penalties, and we lost on penalties, which is one of the hardest
Heartbreaking.
ways to lose.
Heartbreaking. Yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely
absolutely.
heartbreaking. Yeah.
Then we went to. I must admit, it was absolutely phenomenal. The place, the
Yeah.
venue, it was just beautiful. Then when we went the gala, then when we went there, I got top goal scorer and player of the tournament. I would have swapped them at the drop of a hat for the World Cup because we went to show the world what we're all about. But guess what? We're going back and we're going to get it next
Yeah,
time
come on.
because
Yes, you are.
I didn't
Yes.
like that pain. Yeah, I didn't like that pain. Nah, and I know my team members didn't either. And you know what? I still see it now. I hit the crossbar in real time, but it was like, to me, it was in. We should have had a penalty. Blatantly brought me down, right? And it was a penalty. She's the last person, but we didn't
Yeah,
get
yeah.
nothing. And you just relive them moments, don't you? The
Yeah.
Heath butts are wise. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. But no,
Uh,
I can see it. I can see you're going to win it next time.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, without a
The
doubt.
passion's
100%.
definitely there.
Yeah.
Yeah. 100%. Gary, Lindsay, Tracy,
Yeah.
and Freya.
You're not going to
100%.
let that happen to
Because
you
that
again.
feeling was not there. No,
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 no, definitely
not
not.
at all. Gives you a whole new lease of life. It did. It just kind of brought it, just how
I can
passionate we are about it.
And that's the thing, and that links us quite nicely, because Lindsay, I know you're gonna talk more about Lorraine, your coaching badges and your transition into walking football, because it feels like that same passion you had for your 11-a-side is now
Villa.
coming straight through to the walking football. So yeah, I'll hand you over to Lindsay, and then we'll go over to onto the next part.
So,
Hi, Lindsay.
I just wanted to just ask you a few questions around the coaching side of things.
Yeah.
And I think back to when I played football in academy football, and to get your UEFA B license, it wasn't something that came easy. Like a lot of the players today, they do it as a bit of a side hustle with their playing. I just wanted to know, how difficult it was for you to obtain that, or whether that was something that was freely offered.
Um, I think well, to be quite honest, I didn't pay for it. Villa paid for that. So I done my level 1 with Colin Morrison, who's passed away now, God bless him, at Maypole, which is knocked down now, and there's houses there in Highgate. And then while I was with the Villa, because I was doing coaching, like I helped coach the Villa as well, they put me through their badges. It was Tom, Duncan Riddle. There was another guy, but I can't remember his name. Stuart Orr was there from Birmingham City. So they kind of paid for my badges.
Right.
And I done level 2 and then went straight to level 3 at Warwick. I think I was the only girl on the, well, woman then, on the course. And when we had to plan our, because you have to plan your little games and that, like, and every time you'd need players to play or they'd need players, I'd be the first to put my hand up and, yeah, I'll play for you. I'll just come off. Yeah, I'll go and play right back. Yeah, I'll go in goals. One of those. And I still have my book now. It's a treasure to me. And in the big comment, what he put was, if Tom Stack's, if I could bottle your enthusiasm for the game of football, I'd be a millionaire now, Robbo. Now go out there and go
Oh,
and
I
do your
love that.
thing. Mm. And that
That's
was
beautiful. That, and for
many,
other
many
people to
love
see
cup.
that as well, that's really special. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's how I done my coaches, Lindsay. I coached before even your Villa and whatever. I coached the boys team from under 10s to under 16s. And out of 16 boys, I am not lying, 6 of them went professional. So I had
Wow.
I had Tobias and Earl Robinson went to Doncaster. I had Ruben Ezel went to Aston Villa. I had Terry Fleming went to Lincoln. I had Sean, can't remember his name, but he went to an Irish team, a Premier team in Ireland. Sean's a good player. Andrew Penny. Andrew Penny is now manager at Bedworth, but he went to, was it Cheltenham or something? And Chrissy Corrin, out of all those boys from under 10s to, but I used to put packbacks, fill their bags with bricks and make them run down Handsworth, and they'd be like, Robbo, you're not going to let us do press-ups? Yep, 6 press-ups on the middle of the street. We just done militant coaching. So I started coaching with just my own thoughts of like, how can I make them strong? How can I make them fit? How can I make them talk to each other? How can I? So it was just raw coaching of, right, we're going to hit the high street. And because of this mistake what you made, we're going to do 6 press-ups here now. Now we're going to do toe-taps on the curb. And I couldn't wait. The last one back now, if you don't get back in a certain time, we'll hit a Soho Road again. So I think that's how I got their endurance up, their strongness. So and then after that, I just watched videos and tweeted them myself and created my own kind of coaching. Because to me, if you're a coach or a player, right, the best thing, if you're having fun, you're playing the best game. If they're having fun, they're learning the best way. When you're just drilling and drilling and drilling, it just becomes boring. I'll be honest, it just becomes like, God, I've got to do the washing up, or, the kids all do but if it's fun, you're tuned, which means you're learning so much as well as having fun. And that's what I still do as of today. I've created a dance room for 30 seconds. So if you mess up, I'm not having where you grab your leg and do that pulley leg. No, you got to get in there and you got to dance proper for 30 seconds. So in the next thing, you'll see them go, what you do that for, Nikki? I'm not going in the dance room. You better get it. So before we know it, they're talking and now they're correcting. They're coaching themselves because they don't want to make that mistake. They don't. So that we just do little mad things like that. And I'm a nutter anyway. Like, not a nutter. I'm not a nutter. I'm not a nutter. But I'm game, do you know what I
You're
mean?
blue nose, you have to be
No, no,
another.
like Karen Carney said what you did.
Yeah, I know. But I'm a seeker. Listen to this. Listen, this little bit at the bottom really makes me, what's it got? It does say about the Villa. And I was like, oh, yeah. Yes, it says Villa rules Lozzie's heart. And she said, my heart has always been with the Villa. They were the first and last team. I suppose it just proves Blues and Villa fans don't have to fight. I support one club and play for the other.
Yeah.
That's what's in there. It's mad,
It's all
isn't it?
football at the end of the day, isn't it? I love
Crazy. And
that.
now I'm a secret. Kelly's a Villa fan. I think she's just become a Villa fan to do my head in. But I've actually switched now. I go to more for the games than Blues, and I like watching. But it was just in them times when you were younger. No, you can't. I suppose it still is now, but I'm a lot older, and I just like football. Comments.
That reminds me of when I played academy football, because for me, Blues and Villa were quite equal footing at the time. And, I was like staunch Villa fan. I was like, no, I'm not going anywhere near Blues. And when I got an offer of trials at Blues, I was like, to mum and dad, I was like, I'm wearing my Villa kit. If they make me wear Blues kit, I'm wearing my match day.
Linz,
It's hot.
that is brilliant because I used to wear my Blues cut underneath. So that is so mad. Yeah, because how can you put a Villa kit on? Yeah, I've got my Blues shirt underneath, I'd say. Just like, I've got my Blues shirt underneath. That is so mad. So you done that as well, Lindsay?
Yeah, so I didn't make
Crazy.
the Blues trials. Unfortunately, I got injured. I managed to slip some disc in my
Sorry.
back, so I wasn't able to go, and I actually had to stop playing at that point. But I was given the opportunity to go for one of the B teams or something with Blues, and I was like, yeah, I'll go for it, and it didn't happen. So I just carried on with my coaching, which leads us nicely into the next bit of asking you, when you went to Leafield and you took the role with the paid player coach role, how did that change you, like professionally on the pitch and off the pitch and with your coaching? Like, how did that change things? And also, how unique was it to have like a paid role in women's football at that time?
Can I just tell you how much I got paid though first, and then we'll discuss that after? So the paid role, love, was your subs, right? Because remember, we had to pay to play football. They
Yeah.
get paid now, but we had to pay.
I
So it
won.
was free subs and you travel. So, like it'd be like 20 quid. What is that? That's not a paid role, but it is a paid role because I'm thinking, yeah, I'm getting paid for this. But at the end of the day, I think your subs was £5. And if you're going to away games, you had to pay petrol money. So it was one of them. But yeah, with the coaching bit, I'd say I brought in a goalkeeper. I know I just went straight down the core of the team because if you've got your core, you can build alongside it. So I just bought a goalkeeper. I then went as the centre half. I bought a centre mid and a centre forward, and I think that's why we won the league. I don't. We played with all the other players, and don't get me wrong, everybody. It wasn't just like you're the sub all the time. We mixed it all around, so everybody got like kind of equal games, unless it was an important game, and then everybody wants to win to get through to the next round. But yeah, I found that I'd say my tech, as much as teaching it, I think my ability myself dropped as a player. I suppose I wasn't concentrating on just playing. I was concentrating, like if I've got a session, it'll take me 2 or 3 days. So every time I teach a session, it'll take 2 or 3 days. Can I move that into there? What we're working on, and just alongside your own, your work every day or your everyday chores. My coaching side, I'd say, did affect a little bit on my playing side. Because if you realise at 48, I hung up my boots, but then I was still doing coaching till I was kind of 55, but then took my boots back on. Um, how do you feel about your coaching, Lindsay? I know it's not talking about me, but I'd like to see, what do you feel about your coaching now?
I find I've stopped completely because of illness, but I
I'm
found that
sorry.
my no, it's fine. I found that my coaching was better because I played, but then my playing got worse because I
That's it.
overthought.
Yeah,
So when I was making movements, it wasn't just about, "Oh, I do this, I do that," and I was just in my zone and doing my one position. I was overthinking and thinking the bigger picture, which then made my playing go downhill, and it was all right if I was doing, like, five-a-side with the youngsters, but then when it came to the older age groups that I was mentoring as well, it was just it made it worse.
but you know what though, Linz, you know what though, exactly what you just said there, I acknowledge that. I think that happened to me even up until the World Cup. I still don't think, as much as they said that I played my best, especially in the final. So, but remember, I'd coached the week before, and that was very, very. Uh, it was beautiful, but it was very mentally, physically draining. But then I had 3-day rest, and now I'm playing for my 50s, and I think that affected me more than what I realised. It was only when I come back that I realised, I could have played better.
So the FA talks about in the training, a lot of the training manuals are about enjoying football and doing it for the love of football. It's not the result. It's about being a team and enjoying it. And I think, like what you're saying, it does detract a little bit from the enjoyment because you can't enjoy the game because you're already invested in the tactics rather than what's actually happening. It just makes it tough. And like you said, like with the recovery, you've got to transition across from different roles.
Yeah, yeah, and your mindset is in two different, and it's sometimes it can be hard to differentiate between the two or separate completely between the two. It depends because remember, we still have everyday life, which is your job, your kids,
Yeah.
your work, or your relationship. You got whatever everyday life. and you've got to still juggle with that. We're not all born with silver spoons in our mouths. Do you know what I mean? So it's just, so don't feel no way about that, Lindsay. And I'm going to go back to help you on that one. Look where you are now, Lindsay. You got that degree, didn't you? And you're in a position now, and there's other people who ain't. We have to relish life and take it by its horns and just respect, love, peace, and unity. And so take that bit, Lindsay, and flip it back around and realise how big you are. All right, kid.
Thank you.
No worries,
I'm getting
honestly.
emotional now. I don't do emotions. You can't cry anymore. You make me emotional.
Sorry, Lindsay.
It's
Sorry.
all right, it's fine. But I was going to ask, when you transitioned from playing 11-a-side to walking football, was it like a natural progression for, or was it?
Linz, I was always in the sin bin and going, what do you mean, ref? I'm running. Always in the sin bin. Walking football is a fantastic game. It's a fabulous game to play, and it brings a whole lease of life because there are generations of much older people playing it now than the younger ones. So it's just lovely to see, and it's brilliant. But no, I had to learn it. Because if that ball's there in my head, there's no such thing as a 50-50 ball. So if it was there, it's mine. So if she was getting it too quick, I'm running. And that's all I kept doing. It's because that was just my mentality of football. And it was like, Robbo, what do you mean I'm running? Well, she must have been running. I'd never just hit it on the chin. And then
I always used to
I
get
had
pulled
to,
up for
like,
running as well, Robbo. So yeah, I understand.
yeah,
It's difficult, isn't it, not to?
yeah. But I've practiced. I've got it to a T. If you need any help, Trace. What it is you've got to do the wiggle. If you do the wiggle,
Okay.
you don't get pulled up. But if you walk like a sergeant major, they're on you. But once you drop that wiggle in, your one ear has to stay on the floor. That's the trick, Trace. All right.
Okay.
You look a plum, but you've got to do the
Right.
wiggle. Okay.
Okay.
I always wonder why people walk funny when they're playing, and that is the cheat code.
The wiggle. Yeah. But it took me a while, a few sin bins and a few like, ref, you're having a laugh here.
So my last question before I get kicked off for talking too much is, I know you've made some incredible achievements with your coaching with the over 50s and the over 40s, and I was just going to ask you if you'd like to share that with us a little bit more in your own words.
Okay.
Not
So
on spot.
my over 40s, we had 10 training sessions before the World Cup. So I've been coaching them. We've got this other girl who's come in who helped. She did the managing role. Brilliant. We know the players. We know how they play. Yeah. We get to the World Cup and thought, I am in Spain. I have got girls who want to win that World Cup. And we won the World Cup. But it just shows you, we've done it. And I just thought, okay, went to my old World Cup, so that was on my head. And the day we lost it, that's when I resigned, both teams. But I've gone back to my 50s now, but I won't in England coaching. It just shows you what women's football's about. So, okay, we're progressing in the game itself, and we're proving that, we're never going to be as strong as men. Men have a completely different physique to us. But that doesn't mean to say we don't have the ability, the skills, and the technical. They just have the strength. But football's about much more than that. It's inner soul, it's mind, it's decision making, it's technical. But I'm back now anyway. And with my 50s one, like I said, we lost the final, so I was a bit pissed. But
Not next
does
time.
that answer
No.
your question, Linz? Now you've got me emotional.
Not next time, no.
You're going to get it next time. You are. You're going to go for it next time.
Not at all. You're right. You are right.
You're going to come back with a medal or a trophy, and you're going to be like, I want to come back on the pod with the trophy and show
I'm coming back with the World Cup.
That's what the
I
World
had the medal in the truck. The World Cup. Medals and trophies mean nothing but the cup. That's our country. That's not individual, that's team.
Yeah.
You will.
Love that. And that leads perfectly, actually, because Tracy, you're going to wrap us up really about kind of the changes that Lorraine you have seen in football, because going back to playing days until now, some things have progressed, like you mentioned, but other things and
Massively.
attitudes maybe haven't. So yeah, I'll hand you over to Tracy.
Yeah, thank you, Freya.
Okay.
Right, Robbo. So you says that you go to quite a few Villa women games now. Is that correct?
No,
Oh,
no, I don't go to quite a few, but I've been to more Villa games
right.
than Blues games.
Okay.
I'm a nanny on this, so I've probably been to about 5 Villa
Right,
games,
yeah.
but no Blues
Do you watch them
games.
on TV though? Do you watch the games on TV? Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
yes,
So
yes. I'm a
when you
little
look at Villa
go
women
on.
now, what are the main standout things for you that have changed as far as the game is concerned? The play.
Okay, okay. The inputs from the IRACs, what have put them in, so now that's their full-time job, which means they have physios, training session, drills, they have people around them, they have dietitians, they have physiotherapies on call, they have gym session, they have things in place what we did not have at all. We just about had our boots and they give us a kit. They have so much around them, and they spend time on like what they eat,
Mm.
what they drink, how they sleep, what they do the game before, what they eat the game before, what drill. This is the session what we're going to do now. So the technical in this is we're going to do this dynamic stretch or that static stretch, and we're going to go into this role. It's so planned and organized, and it's like it's phenomenal is all I can
Yeah,
say. Phenomenal. And I just wish I was back in them days now, because I'd be one of them big
yeah,
boys. But I'd still be the same me.
yeah.
I
Yeah,
would. I
absolutely.
would,
So
because there's
I'll go
so
down
much
here.
support. Yeah, there's so much support
It's
for
the
the
same game,
players.
isn't it? But they have so much more opportunities than what you had,
Yeah,
and mental health support as well,
yeah,
which is really important.
yeah.
And um,
You want to know why you've been dropped. You don't want to just be dropped and then you've got to be spoken
yeah,
to, because that can physically. So they do.
yeah,
They get I need this one because this player's doing this, so I need this. Or you need a just speak to them. Don't just drop them
yeah,
and things like that. But yeah, there's just so much in place, much more in place than there was for us. In fact, there was nothing in place for us, but they'd give us. Well, we couldn't even have the pitch.
yeah,
They'd give us the kit.
yeah,
That was what was in place for us until we moved up a bit. And then we got a coach, which was brilliant.
yeah.
We got a coach instead of a cram minibus.
So obviously, with all of the opportunities and with all of the resources and everything that are put into the women's game now, the actual output, the actual quality of the game, the ability of the players is a lot higher, would you say, than it was back in the day? I mean,
It can only shine now, Carney.
exactly. Yeah,
It can only shine, and 100%, yeah, because ours was, if you were a good player, it was just raw
yeah,
talent. It was talent you learnt off the streets, kicking a can, being
yeah,
kicked. It was rawness of talent. This is developed, technical,
yeah. The
uh,
science, isn't it?
programmed,
Yeah,
yeah, mentally, physically, emotionally. It's all that in one. So yeah,
yeah.
massively changed in every aspect.
So there's lots of things there that I'm sure that you wish that you had back in the day. If there was one thing that
All of them.
you see, if there's what, yeah, I know all of them. But if there's one thing that you see that players are getting now that you would have loved to have had back in the day, what would it be? I know all of it, obviously, yeah, all of it would have been fantastic. But if there's one thing, what would you say that?
It would have been the development
Yeah,
of, if I was that player then, what could I have been? with those people around me, because remember, I'm already that player.
Yeah.
So the only person who taught was the streets and myself. So if I had all those people teaching me my fitness, my mentality, my emotions, my food, or my trainers, my boots, then mate, that's what I'd want.
Yeah.
Just the development side,
Yeah.
that bit of it.
Yeah.
Not the money side. Yeah, everybody's going to want the money side, but that wouldn't
Yeah.
really interest. That would have been what I wanted.
Yeah.
Could I have been better?
And to have it as a profession as well, that's just mad, isn't it? To think that it is their profession. They're professional footballers. They haven't got any jobs that they do in the day. That is their job, basically.
Brilliant. Yeah.
Something that you can only dream of.
Just a dream come true.
Yeah,
A
exactly.
dream.
So for any aspiring young football players out there, and for fans of the game as well, is there anything that you'd want to tell them to kind of highlight how far the game has come over the last 20 years?
Yeah. Believe to achieve. Look 'em in the eye. There's no one bigger than you but than God. So if you want something in life, you take it by the horns and you give it your utmost. That's what I'd tell 'em.
Yeah,
Yeah.
brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's
Fantastic.
that's
Thanks,
perfect.
Robbo. Thank you for that. And can I just
Ah, you're
echo?
welcome. I was very nervous.
Can I just echo
God.
something that I said to Nikki
Yes.
last week? And I think it's really important for you to hear it, and for so many people to hear it, that, you know, we love Villa Women, and we go and support them home and away, and we run the fan club and everything. But if it wasn't for you guys, we wouldn't have the team that we have today. You were the foundations. I think you should get more credit and more, the spotlight shone on you a lot more. Because if it wasn't for
Aw.
people like you,
Linz, pass me them tissues, Lindsay.
if it wasn't for people like you who, you know, put up with the racism and put up with the you shouldn't be playing football because you're a woman, and do you know what I mean? All the obstacles that were put in front of you, but you ignored that, and because of the love for the game, you battled through it, you developed women's football, and here we are today, winning 2 European Cups, England.
Brilliant.
Do you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
So can I just give you a round of
That is
applause?
good. Oh,
Hey.
thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. I do appreciate that. And you know what? I try to stay, because I still coach up to this day now. I do little kids, just little unprivileged kids in Erdington of a Saturday morning, and we run a camp for them in the school holidays, giving them free dinner. It's supposed to be a sports camp, but all they ever want to do is play football.
Yeah.
And can I just tell you, 2 of my players from Phoenix United scored. One set up the goal for Scarborough against Scarborough, and the other one scored. They come from our club.
Oh,
So you know
fantastic.
when you played Scarborough the other night, so one set the goal up and the other one scored it.
Oh,
They
brilliant.
was from Phoenix United.
Fantastic.
Wow.
So it's crazy. And I stayed professional, but I got myself together and won back and won that World Cup for them
Fantastic.
girls.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
So, put it on. You know what? It's been nice to reminisce, actually. It has been not, because I finding this piece of this is just, it made my day as well, because I only lost her last year and she's just everything my mum
Yeah.
was. So, and
Yeah.
to know she kept it for 23 years. This has been
Oh,
23 years
That's
old.
it.
Crazy.
shows the pride that she
Perfect.
takes.
Crazy, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it must do. And it for it all wrapped up nice and neat. So I'm gonna put this in my bag, and next time I get hospitality, you know, wink wink, to the villa, I'll bring it and I'll give it you, because you might have to invite me, so you get this piece of paper to
Okay.
put up.
We'll see what we can do.
Thanks. Don't
Yes.
forget my granddaughter, because she's a crazy Villa. She follows Villa women. She don't get them much. She just loves them. She goes to Warsaw games, but yeah. Thank you for the interview and that. Like, it was
No,
really
it's
nice. I will
been
be honest, I
been
was
great.
very nervous.
No,
Very
you've
nervous.
been
But
fantastic. I
Yeah.
mean, the stories that we've heard,
I
and
felt relaxed amongst you all.
Good. I'm really glad because that's
Maybe.
why we wanted to do this, because there are so many stories out there that haven't been recorded and aren't documented anywhere. You know, if you search for anything to do with Villa Aztecs, Villa Ladies, Villa Women, you
If
only get
you
up to 2020 and that's it.
if you
And
go
it's so hard.
to if you go to Manchester, the football
Mm.
museum in Manchester, and put in my
Yeah.
name, I've
Yeah.
done I've done a story there with somebody else, and
Oh wow.
they've told me it's already in the Manchester Football Museum.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
So you put my name in, and I've done one with her, and that's got a bit more racism in it about it, because she wanted to know how the football was, how I started, and
Yeah.
what it was like playing in them days. And then she sent me a thing back saying, yeah, it's in the Manchester Football something.
Wow.
Right. So you can get
Yeah,
something
we'll
off
have
there if
to.
you want.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah,
have to go check that out. But honestly, Ren,
definitely.
thank you so much for joining us tonight.
No
It's been an
problem,
incredible
honestly.
conversation. Well, we were saying to Nikki, we'll have to all meet up
Yeah.
at a game and have these conversations in person as well, because
Yeah, that would be
it's just been
nice.
so lovely. Yeah,
No, it
it's
has
been
been.
absolutely fantastic. And yeah, pod wise, has anyone got any final questions before we go? Before we let Lorraine go?
No,
Nope, nope.
I'm good.
No,
No, perfect.
No.
thank
Oh,
you very
Lorraine, I
much.
do just have one more quick one for you. So what years were you at Villa?
Right. Where's that piece of paper? Because you do know when you get to like 61, you go backwards. So it's on like, I don't even know what date was yesterday. So looking at this paper, it just says something like, it says, promotion to the Premiership is only half the job as Villa still defender. So I was defender then. Lorraine Robinson knows that's 8-1. Duncan Riddle. Here. The reign known as Lars has reached the promised land 3 times with Villa. They went down in 95. So if they went down in 95, that means wait, I know how old. I suppose was 85. It was 5. I think I went to Villa in probably, no, it was, yeah, maybe 1985,
85. Okay,
86, 85, 86, yeah. And then it looks like I
perfect.
left Camera at Cantor in 99 for what time? So it's a bit little more than a busy. It looks like I left in about 2000, because if this is 2003, maybe 2004 or something
Wow.
like that.
Okay.
Quite a few years you played
Brilliant
together.
stint
That's a
there.
fantastic
Yeah.
career.
Yeah, big stint.
Yeah, no, tell a lie. I went away because here it's got a devoted Blue Nose Robinson started her career with Villa. She had spells with Birmingham and Solihull before returning 12 years ago. So you'd have to look at this paper and
Okay.
see. But I think I started for the Villa maybe 19. No, but I was born 85. You remember him at 4. Maybe 1990, 89, 90.
89, around there.
Yeah,
Perfect. No, that's great.
yeah.
Thank you very much. Well,
No,
we will let you go and hope you do get to see those highlights of the game.
Oh yeah, second half.
Thanks,
Bye.
Robbo.
See ya.
Thank you.
Thanks,
No
Lorraine.
Take care.
problem.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye bye.
But yes, and to everyone else, while we wrap up the podcast, so thank you so much for watching, for listening. We hope you loved that conversation as much as we did. Robbo is incredible, and we can't wait. I mean, I'm sure she's got so many more stories that we could hear from her. So we'll have to all meet up and have them another night, maybe a part 2, maybe a follow up after this one. But yeah, you can find us, of course. Part of the Pride is in partnership, of course. Partnership within the whole 115 yards and the Aston Villa Women Fan Club as well. You can find us all across social media, so please do go give us a like, a subscribe, a follow. You all know what to do by now, because we are so close to getting that 100 subscribers on YouTube. So if you do watch this and you do like what you've seen, please do give a little subscribe. We will be back with our usual Thursday night episode. This week we're recording it. This is Tuesday night. So unfortunately, we will be talking about the defeat to Everton. However, we'll be looking forward to a bigger and brighter future in the weeks to come. So yeah, once again, thank you so much for joining us tonight. And we'll see you on a live show very, very soon. Goodbye.